that was Goten there. Um, Before I end the video, I wanted to take a moment to talk about Sailor Moon returning here, and maybe why it may not be. I'm sure everyone knows by now that the international revival is going on. It started in Italy, and they even have new toys now, which I'm debating whether to get those, but they said if it did well in Italy, or Toei said if it did well, that they would do the international revival, which they started it. They did that. But they did not say anything about Sailor Moon coming here again. They haven't said anything concerning the English dub, or if they'll do a redub. They haven't said a word on that yet. And I'm thinking the reason why is because everyone keeps talking how the English dub stinks, how they changed far too much, how the storyline was altered. It just wasn't true to the original. Everyone keeps telling everyone else to watch the English subtitle version, which I actually like the English dub. I like both versions, like I said, but I don't see what's so bad about the English. I know there were a lot of edits and changes, like, for example, Haruka and Michiru's relationship, but that's probably because had they left that the way it originally was, they knew that parents would go nuts. They probably would have had hate mail from everywhere from parents, because at that time it was pretty taboo to be homosexual at the time. Now it's not so big of a deal, but back then parents would have gone ballistic, and they probably wanted children to have nothing to do with that, or even know about it at that time, considering what the show's age group was aimed at. I know in the episodes, one major change they made, besides the names, was the finale of Season 1, which for us was titled Day of Destiny. I forget what the Japanese title was, but in our version, the Sailor Senshi are all supposedly captured by Queen Beryl and the Negaverse, that they called it there. But in the original Japanese, sadly, the Senshi are killed, not just captured. And Sailor Moon is left by herself to fight Queen Beryl. Also, after Queen Beryl brings Sailor Moon to her, she has her fight Endamion. In our version, there was a change during their fight. In the Japanese version, Endamion actually tries to choke tries to choke Sailor Moon. Tuxedo Mask does not do that in our version, or Endamion, one and the same. So, also when cute little Rini here appears, in the Japanese version, Chibiusa pulls out a toy gun on Usagi and tries to scare her into giving her the silver crystal. But when she fires it, it's revealed it's nothing but a toy, and she runs off or something. In the English dub version, when she appears, that doesn't happen. And when she leaves, they just replay the scene of her falling from the sky backwards. And it's kind of obvious, so that wasn't well done, but I know that's a major change. But, also the scene where Sailor Moon and Tuxedo Mask find out Rini is not just their friend, but she is their one and only daughter. In the English dub, they do have the Senshi talking about, oh wow, she's Sailor Moon and Tuxedo Mask's daughter, but they cut out Sailor Mars freaking out and going, what day, month, and year did that happen? She freaks out because she had a crush on Mamoru, but they cut that out of the English dub. But that was, I've seen it, that is pretty funny. But I guess they found that scene unnecessary, so they just cut it out. But another change they made was the transformation phrases. They took the phrase, make up, out of each of them. Like I'm sure everyone knows, for the first season it was Moon Prism Power, for the second, Moon Crystal Power, and once I heard Star Power, which is incorrect. The Star Power transformation phrase was only for the inner Senshi. In the third season they had her saying Moon Cosmic Power. In Supers with Rini, they had her saying Moon Cosmic Dream Action, which in the original Japanese it was Moon Crisis Makeup. The only thing we get that's close is in the Supers movie, dubbed by Deke, ironically enough, was they say Super Moon Crisis Power to transform. That's the closest we get. I think it's funny that Deke was more true to the original phrase than even Cloverway, and Deke was the one originally changing everything. It's kind of funny. I don't know why people freak out about that, because I just don't understand it. The phrase make up wasn't that necessary, really. I mean, I think people need to sort of try and get used to that, because I doubt that we're going to get a new version of this. I think if we get anything, it's going to be the original. So, sadly, I don't think a redub will be in the works. I'm hoping that the manga here being re-released, I'm hoping what that means in the long run is that they're trying to pick a company to have the rights for America with the international revival going on. I'm sure and really hoping, I have my fingers crossed, that that's what they're doing. I think the company in the lead for getting the rights right now, they stated they've wanted it, is Funimation, which dubs Dragon Ball Z, both the original dub that we had before and Dragon Ball Z Kai right now. If they don't get it, I'm hoping Viz Media will, which dubbed Inuyasha, and they're doing Final Act right now. I think they finished that, actually. And Naruto. Both series turned out pretty well. Hardly anything was changed for that series, or for those two series. So, I think that if there is a redub, that they would do pretty well. But I'm begging you, fellow Moonies, stop hating the English dub, or you can forget ever seeing anything of Sailor Moon again. Except for the manga, because that's already set. That's coming out anyway. But as far as the anime, we're not going to see it again. I am really hoping that we do. But if Toei keeps seeing nothing but comments on how it stinks, it's not true to the original, everyone's telling people to just watch the English subtitles only, they're not going to do it because they're going to be afraid it's going to flop and it'll be a waste of time and effort for them and money, so they probably won't consider it. So if you talk to people about the English dub, please say kind things so that that person can spread the word and so on, and say that things were changed, but yes, it's still a great show, great series. Otherwise, it'll be no, I'm seeing it ever again. Um, I guess that's all I wanted to say. Just don't hit the English dub, please. And as far as my collection, that's all I have for right now. I'm planning on getting more at Christmas time,